Pooja.
Hi. What are we talking about today?
Let's talk about our new book that we're working on, which is almost done.
Yeah, the process of creating the book is going on. We're still trying to understand the book that we're writing ourselves.
So much of learning. There's
So much of
awe in that book.
So much of unknown space to be known. Yeah. Let's just talk about the first post.
There exists an unknown space that is beyond our imagination and beyond our comprehension. There is an unknown space that exists out there and within us. We call it unknown because there is not much known about it. Our five senses cannot perceive anything in it. No thing. This unknown and so-called empty space exists between you and me, him and her, they and them. This unknown space also exists within each molecule and within each atom, be it a solid, liquid, or gas. The existence of this unknown space cannot be denied. It just is. We call this space is, and we talk about its isness in our forthcoming book.
Wow, man. We ourselves are getting fascinated with the book because it's as if doors are opening. We're slowly unwrapping the gift of existence. Nah? We're trying to understand existence. See, in the first book, we did realize that there is an unknown space. In our first book, is Life is Enough, right? Now we are trying to explore that unknown space. We're trying to figure out what is there, what exists there. Is there any existence there? Now, for example, there is a stage. It's totally empty, right? The characters come in the stage and create a play, right? The hero, heroine, whoever, all the characters, and then we put up things in that stage and create a scene, right? That empty space is filled in by our existence, by us, right? But that space of that empty stage is still there. It still exists. So that empty space is what we are talking about. Now, once the play is complete and all the characters go back to their own home, the stage doesn't vanish. That space in that stage doesn't vanish. It is still there. It still exists. So we're talking about that stage. That space is what we're talking about. The existence still exists, whether we accept it or not. So just imagine the earth to be that stage and that empty space. And then we all are placed in it. You, me, animals, insects, trees, things that we can see and things that we can't see. Things that we are aware of and things that we are not aware of. There is a space, and we are calling that space is. There is a space between you and me. There is a space between even my atoms in my body or the cells in my body. And that space is inside our body and outside the body. It's the same space, which is inside. That's why inclusive and exclusive. The isness, the existence, the space is inside us and outside us. That doesn't mean that there's nothing in that space. Now, for example, in the morning, Palak, if you're sitting nicely in a living room and the curtains are drawn, you don't see anything. It's just an empty space. But once you open the curtain and the sunlight hits that space, you'll see so many small things flying, some particles there. So there is an existence there. It's just not visible to the naked eye. Our senses can't see them. Right? There's so many things that we can't really see.
Also, we can take this example now, Pooja. A fish in the ocean is part of the ocean. It's like the fish saying, I want to see the ocean. You can't see the ocean. You're in the ocean. It's in you, around you, everywhere.
Like, okay, now if I go up into the space, Supposing I'm sitting on the sun. I know it's very hot, it'll burn me down, but let's just imagine me sitting on the sun. And all these planets, where are they? They are existing in space. Then what is that space? That space where the planets are existing is what we're talking about, is the existence that we're talking about, is the is that we're talking about. So if the planet Earth, for example, is placed in that space, so the space is also flowing through the Earth, right? Now, if the Earth is in that space, that universe, that existence, then definitely that space is running or moving through me also, because I am placed in that Earth. So that space which is in the universe, which you can see from the sun, is also between you and me. But it's also in me because I am placed in this Earth, which is placed in this universe, which is placed in the space. So what is PalakandPooja trying to understand? We're trying to understand this space, this existence, which just is. That space with love holds us, our planets, the moon, the stars, the sun.
And our connection with this space.
Without asking anything in return, it just holds us. And we confidently live in that space. So that space is allowing it to do that, but it's not allowing it to fall. No? It's not letting any of the planets fall. It's letting it exist in that space. So definitely there is something there in that existence, in that space that we have yet to understand, but we cannot deny that that exists. And that space, we can call it is, we can call it God, we can call it beyond our imagination, beyond picture. We have a vivid picture because we studied it in school. But come on, is it only that? Or it has to be more. So that's what we're trying to explore. That's what we're trying to understand.
And what also one of the chapters was talking about, that because we are part of this huge space where all the planets exist, solar system exists, the entire universe exists. So all that, which is holding all that together, that exists in us too. So to say the magnificence of it all exists within us as well, because we are part of it. Just like a fish is in the ocean, is part of the ocean, is not different or separate from the ocean. The wave is not separate from the ocean. One of the chapters says that beauty, that magic exists in us too. Man's endeavor has always been to explore and unravel and rediscover and recognize himself and his capabilities and abilities and what all he can do and what all he is made up of through this book, because that's what the me talks about. How valuable you are, you don't even know. It's time to explore and unravel what you're made up of. You're part of ISNESS.
See, we can value me only if we understand existence. Trying to understand that space, we're trying to understand that isness. And once we realize that existence is in me as I'm in it and is passing through me, then only we'll understand how magnificent we are. If we value is, then only we'll value me.